Episode 9, where the video itself is much louder than its intro.
Hello and welcome to the Tactics board. Today we have the board, as you can see, in full view because we're going to look at one play in particular from Dublin's win over Down. But also we're going to look at what Dublin can do based off ideas around this play going forward into the summer. So what's the play we're looking at? Well, it's once again we're looking at Stephen Cluxton coming out from his line to claim a ball. Now Cluxton here in this move claims the ball around here on his own 13, just to the right of the field. Passes the ball across to Nicky Devereaux. Now what Devereaux does here is interesting. He advances up on his own to about the 65. The reason he's able to do this is Down were afraid of the long ball threat and at the time have been dropping deep, giving a bit more space into Dublin. Sorry, the long shot threat as opposed to the long ball threat. Sorry, my apologies. And so Devereaux gets to about the 65 and then delivers the long ball, what Down hadn't been expecting, into Paul Mannion. Mannion goes forward towards goal, has a shot against Brendan McVeigh. McVeigh makes the save, but Dublin scores a subsequent 45, scored by who else? Stephen Cluxton. Now, that's an extreme example of what Dublin can do in this sort of position, but it's also a sign of why Dublin are getting Stephen Cluxton forward out of the box, because it's to help turn defence into attack and to get opponents thinking. So, let's get rid of Nicky and Paul for now, and put back the standard three men full back line that you'd expect from Dublin here. And put Stephen Cluxton back in his goal line. Now Cluxton typically, in most situations and like most goalkeepers, will be collecting the ball inside the large rectangle. But as you've seen with Dublin, Gavin wants Cluxton to come out a bit more towards his line and even a bit further out occasionally. And the reason for this is suddenly his passing options increase dramatically. Dublin, remember, are playing a 6-man defence as their core defence this year, not 7-man as was typical under Pat Gilroy. So what this allows them to do is to push up their full back line and also to allow their half-backs to get into other positions for passes. Essentially, Stephen Cluxton has more options attack-wise when it comes to his passes, because of course, when he's in the large rectangle, he is a bit more crowded out. His vision is reduced because obviously you've got more opposing attackers trying to pressure him, and also it's just his options, because if he's going to the corner here, he's going to be burying the player in question. So he doesn't have to worry about the corner now. He can go straight out to the wing flat if he really wants to, and the cornerback isn't really being closed down. So as it looks at the championship, why will Dublin be doing this and probably 2 or 3 times a game bringing Cluxton off his line? Well, the reason's fairly simple. Dublin wants to keep this 6-man defence through the summer. It's what they've played through the spring, and they don't want to overcommit to full-time situation of 7 defenders. Ideally, they'll never have a full-time situation of 7 defenders. It'll always be a supporting defence coming back rather than the hardcore defence being 7-man. So Cluxton coming off his line allows them to do that, while still allowing them also to get their defenders up as supporting attackers, as we've seen quite a lot this spring. Well, that's all we have time for in this episode of the Tactics Board. As always, click on my face in the corner to subscribe to our videos, but for now, I've been Emmet Ryan.